that's a quarter of the year is already gone. It lets you know, it just makes it hit home on how real, on how short our season is to make, you know, if your main part of your living, like mine, for my company, is from mowing. Just you realize how short of a window you have to make your income for the year, that you have to stretch out for this, but you make it in this. What is going on, guys? Chuck B, Birch's Lawn Care. We are here getting the season maybe started. Who knows with the crazy ass weather we're having. I mean, today is the 13th or 14th of March. I don't know if you can see in the background. Maybe that'll show you. I don't know. Probably not. I'll put up a, with some crazy weather we're having, I'm going to put a picture up here, and then a picture up here of the next day. We had really warm winter. February hit. Freaking madness happened with cold and lots of snow. We broke a 100-year record. We also broke another 100-year record for March already. However, that's not that big of a deal because it normally doesn't ever snow in March. So the few inches we got the other day broke the 100-year record. So it wasn't that there was that deep of snow. It was just that the fact that there was snow. However, February, I think we got 2 feet. We were right around that 2 feet or so. And it all happened in the last half, or from the second week on of February. It just snow. Snow. So that's the first time I'd ever made any fair money moving snow. It's not something I promote. I let a few of my customers know that I would clear their driveways, and they took me up on it. It wasn't anything I was trying to really pick up work on. So anyway, that's where we're at. This is I know this is kind of late for, I said I was going to do a video each month, and this is kind of getting late into March already, I guess. So this is kind of I was wanting to get a little bit closer to the end of the quarter. So not only is it a monthly video, it's a first quarter recap of what's going on in the business. Then we're going to go take a look at my snowblower, how it did, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. It's the Husqvarna ST 151. I've got a few videos up on my channel, me playing with it. Not going to be moving snow with it today. This is just going to be just looking at it and why I like it and some things I don't like about it. And so my business, what's going on with me right now? Obviously trying to drum up business. Advertising is not working so well right now, and I gotta slide this camera over a little bit. I may have to stop to do this because my holder isn't right. Anyway, it's attached to my rear view mirror, and I keep seeing myself and myself in it. I don't know if that makes sense. I see my camera, and then I see myself in the mirror, and it just, I don't know, it distracts me when I see that. So I'm just going to drive around. I got to take a look at some properties, trying to gauge out. I don't think I'm going to be starting until first week of April for any of my services, which is going to be a little stressful. If I don't get anyone hired in. I think I've got a guy hired. He accepted the job. I still got to send him an offer letter, but as far as verbal, he's accepted. I've already interviewed him, obviously. Good kid. I interviewed a couple people. I should say I've interviewed quite a few people. I got a buttload of applications. However, the applications were everywhere from, that could be a good person, to, my God, why would you think I would ever hire you? And you say that kind of stuff. Just crazy people not reading what I'm looking for, just just applying to apply. And I get it. I did have a stint in my life where I was on unemployment for a long time, and I applied for, just went down the list and applied. So I get it. However, it was just frustrating on my end. Now I see what I was doing to other small businesses. Big companies, I don't care if I'm a pain in your butt. Okay, that being said, so I'm trying to hire. I think I hired a guy. He accepted today, though he is out of town. So next week we got to actually touch base on, we've touched a little bit on the vision for the company kind of thing. I do, as far as paperwork, do things, I don't know if everyone does it like me. I do an offer letter, and then I do, I've got a company handbook that I put together, and all that stuff has to be signed and back to me, and then all the tax paperwork. I hired my CPA to do my payroll, so he will be taking care of my, or his office I should say, will be taking care of my my payroll, you know, all that stuff, handling that paperwork, all the taxes involved with that. I'm not even going to put that on my plate, as I know my focus is getting the physical work done in sales. Other than that, I'm trying to push other stuff off. It's going to cost a little bit of money, but that's what I'm doing. So I hired my CPA to do that. The money's kind of made up already, because what I'm paying him is less than what I was paying my web guy for monthly maintenance on my website, which I took over. So he's not being paid for that anymore. The only thing I pay for with my website now is the yearly fee for it to be hosted, which is the same web guy that does that as well. So I pay for that, but the monthly maintenance, the updates, the backups, I do that. And it's unless I'm screwing something up that I don't see yet. Right now, I can't believe that I've paid for that in the past. It's extremely easy. But like I said, I'm still learning. I might be doing something wrong that I'm not aware of yet, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I spent a little bit of time. I did an online WordPress course. I never finished it. I still got to finish it, but I can hop through it and look through things at what I'm trying to do on my website and that. So took that money away from him, put some of that money to my CPA for my for payroll services. What else have we changed this quarter? Oh, I'm now officially I'm now an LLC. I've been sole proprietor for the last 4 years, almost 5 years. So now we're an LLC. That just happened. I got the certificate and stuff back from the state just a couple days ago. So that's really fresh. So LLC, CPA on payroll, hired a guy. What else have we got going on in the business? So right now I'm scrambling. I know it doesn't look like I'm scrambling right now as I drive around on these properties, but we have a bunch of snow on the ground. So this next scramble is not horrible, just aggravating. I found out I do my, oh, I don't know why we were out of focus there. I do my fertilizer purchase. I try to purchase for the entire year. I try to guess at how many customers I'm going to end up with, and I purchase. Last year I ran out, so this year I've purchased more. I've actually doubled my purchase. I ordered my product for the year in December, because with my specific dealer I get a discount because I'm affiliated with them. Man, the snow's got some of these streets all screwed up. People don't realize that they park in the street, and what they're actually doing, they think they're parked in a parking spot. They're literally parked in the road because they won't pull their vehicle into the snowbank to park. Snowbank's not that heavy now. My little truck will do it. Alright, rant over. So, I ordered in December. I ordered all my product. Thought we were good. Why? It's March. Product should be on the road coming to me. Found out from my dealer, supplier, whatever you want to call them, that one of the products, which is a whole pallet, is not registered for use in my state. So, and it's their brand of product is not registered for use in my state. It's a pallet of Dimension. Dimension is fine to use here. So what do I do here? I can take receipt of that order, and why my watch is telling me, my watch thinks I'm riding a bicycle right now. That's how slow I'm driving, apparently. Sorry, I had a panic moment for something. So I could either take receipt of the product and roll the dice on getting caught with it, which chances of getting caught are like pretty much non-existent. I mean, half the people in my area are not even licensed to apply a product, and they never had issues. I think there's only like one guy for the entire county to catch people. So pretty much if you're not turned in, chances of getting caught are really low. However, if you do get caught, and this is the same for, not only the without the license thing, but even if you're applying a product that's not registered, if you do get caught, I think the fines start out at like $5,000. I mean, that's like your first offense. There's not oh, you'll get a warning this time, clean your act up. Now, at first offense is like $5,000. So I would rather, I told my supplier just to keep the product. I didn't even want my money back. At first I did, then I was like, I know I'm going to continue to use the other products that I really like that I get from them. Dimension's not that big of a deal because I think I can find it at a few other places here. So I told them just keep the product, put the money back on my account. That way, if I get into a situation where I'm running out of product, I've got go-to money already sitting there. I don't have to like, oh crap, the money's there. It's already in my account. I can just be like, hey, send me another pallet of this. We're good. But what I'm finding out is getting product here without paying crazy fees or crazy amount of money. I mean, if you go down to Home Depot or any not specific to Home Depot, but any box store, or even the farm stores that are here in town, the retail stores, if you're buying product from them, that's a lot of money. It is really hard to make, because in the fertilizer game, there's a big margin to be had. The profits are, oh crap, I should drive, well, the profits are there to be had. Excuse me, without going too far into that. But if you're buying from the box stores, man, it's hard to get into the profit game because the box stores are marking that stuff up like, 200 and 300%. I've seen just some markup that you're like, holy smokes, I can't believe you guys are charging that for that. I can get it for a third of that here, that kind of stuff. So that's what's going on with me. I'm running some product down. I just opened an account with Site One. Site One they're not in my town. The closest one is 2.5 hours away. It's actually in Idaho. And it's a new Site One. It was just because Site One bought out a company called Auto Rain. Come on, kids. Kids are not smart. Kids are not smart. Can't believe kids that. Anyway. Maybe I don't want to get that big if there's kids that intelligent down here. Anyway, why aren't they in school? There's school today. I totally lost train of thought. Oh, Site One bought out another company. Now their closest one's 2.5 hours away. Before that, it was 6 hours away. So they're a little bit closer. Maybe it'll make shipping nicer on me. I don't know. I've never dealt with Site One. There's a couple chemical companies here in town that I'm actually, when I get home, I've got to call them and get pricing from them. All right, which I'll probably do that before we get working on the snowblower. So I may talk about it during the snowblower. Oh, I'm getting a slow down flag. So yeah, so that's what's been going on with me, guys. And so LLC, CPA, employee, product. First quarter, we've covered everything for advertising for the first quarter. Haven't touched on advertising. So advertising, what am I doing? We touched a little bit on how I took my website over, which I'm starting to dip my toe into SEO a little bit. I was not paying for SEO before, so my rankings are all organic. What I've started doing this quarter, so 3 times so far, blog on my website. You know, and it's not, and it took me a little bit to understand this, but a blog doesn't even matter if anybody reads it, really. Google reads it. That's who you care about on your website. Google reading your blog, because they see that your website is active website gets higher in the ranking, and then there's other things you can do that are SEO friendly within the blog. So that's all we're going to touch base on that. I started playing with AdWords. So many people just swear by it. I just started it, so I don't expect to really see return on it. I'm only putting in a minuscule amount of money into it. I'm only putting $100 a month into my AdWords. If you guys have played with AdWords, you know that goes quick. $100 is nothing. I think mine is going at, my ad is something like 3 something a click. So $100 gets sucked up pretty good, or pretty fast. And Facebook ads, those aren't new. I've done them before. The Facebook ad thing is, I don't do a constant. Like right now, I'm running an ad for the beginning of the season. I think I spent like $30 on it to run for 10 days, 30 or 40, 50 maybe. I don't remember. It's a real short ad, real short run, pretty large area. I've ran some that are really, really tiny areas. This one's kind of large because I'm also running my my website pixel on it. I put a pixel into my website code. Easy to learn how to do that. So there, marketing. Taking my own website, SEO over, AdWords, and Facebook. That's all I'm doing. That's all I've done this quarter. And by the looks of the ground, that's all I'm going to do. So now we've covered everything on the business end for the quarter. If I haven't covered it, I don't know. Ask me a question. And a shout out to you guys that's been sending me emails for questions and stuff like that. There's a few of you now. Thank you. That means you're watching my junk, and you, at least on some level, respect my opinion. I appreciate that. I won't lie to you just to give you an answer. I'll answer to the best of the situation that I can understand and try not to lead you down the wrong path. So thank you for the questions, guys. It's been a few of you, and I appreciate the heck out of it. Okay, now let's go home. I shut my mouth. Let me call these fertilizer guys, see what kind of information I can find, and then take a look at my snowblower. That I used this season. Thank you. Alright guys, I didn't get to finish up this video like the other day, like I wanted to. So today, we're just take a real quick look at this. I'm still battling with the, trying to find a supplier for my, pre-emergence. So anyway, update on that. That problem's still not solved. So we're going to take a look at the Husqvarna ST 151. It's a gas motor. I'll put the stats up in the corners there somewhere on this guy or in the description. But things I like, we're going to start with what I like about it. And there's actually quite a bit that I like about this. I don't have a lot of experience with snowblowers. So you guys might see something, you'd be like, well. So anyway, we'll just get on with my opinion, right? There. So this thing, I'm not going to start it up because I don't feel like opening the garage door. But it's pull start. This thing starts extremely easy. It's really easy to pull. The choke's easy to get to. It's right here on the back. Flip that over, start it. You can also plug it in right here. If you're just using it at your house, just a 3-prong plug. You can plug it in there, push that button, electric start. I've never used it. I'm assuming that works well. Like I said, I use this out. I've always pull started it. It's 3 years old. I have used it at night, so it's got LED lights on it. They actually work really well. They're pretty bright. Turn it off. Just pull the key out. That kills it. Kill switch. It's really fuel efficient. I fill it up probably and I've only ran out of fuel a couple times with it. Normally I just fill it up every other driveway and it's fine. I like the adjustment for the snowblower, which way I'm going to blow it. Just the handle right here, it's behind this so it doesn't get all clogged up with junk. So when you're blowing this way, you're blowing off into the yard or whatever, and then if you go to turn around, you know, and you still want to blow that way, you know, that's all it is. You know, you can wherever. I like that. You don't have to stop. You don't, because you know you got your baler here. You got your flaps turning. You don't want to stop, or you don't want to have to reach up here to turn. I know I've seen some snow blowers that have a handle up here to where you turn. This one you're just going and you turn it. Stop that. Other lights about it. Oh, so this year I talked about, I think I had it in a different video, how I had sold my 4-wheel drive. So I was snow blowing with the 2-wheel drive truck, so I was having to chain up. And then I had an issue where I was breaking chains and ended up having to go out a couple times in my kid's Explorer. So we'll cover 2 big lights about it. For one, this thing is light. I mean, grabbing this and throwing it up the back of the truck, not a problem. So you don't have to carry a cart to do that. You can pick this guy up and throw it. Not sure what the weight is. That'll be in the stats, wherever. Another thing I like, when I was using the Explorer, because obviously that's too tall. Bam. I would do that. That's all the way down for that. And there we go. Pick it up. Throw it in the Explorer. Pull it back out. Get to the next lawn. Oops. Bam. I'm good to go. It's just little holes here. There's different adjustments. If you're taller, you can actually pull this up and have a taller setting. Or if you want a more of a laid back setting, you got those holes. trying to line them up now. That's kind of the more of the tilted. But anyway, 3 different settings there you can do for that, but you just pop those clips out, bam, folds down, folds back up quick and easy. So when I was having to use the Explorer, which was a real pain in the butt because I couldn't take my salt spreader and I wasn't taking salt out, it was just this and a shovel. That was real fun, but it worked out fine, especially with the ability to be able to do that and the lightweight, being able to throw this and maneuver it into the back of that Explorer, so that was fine. So I think I've covered everything I like about it. These flaps, and I'm sure these are the same no matter what. So these are, it's just rubber flaps. This is just a single stage snowblower. So it's grabbing the snow. When it comes around, it's just throwing the snow up and out. I mean, there's not another mechanism there. This is it. This is your snowblower. So if you could spray this with something a little bit slicker. I used the Toro spray on it, and it seemed to help. I don't know if it really did or not. It doesn't damage any concrete because they are rubber, and they last really well. Mine, like I said, this is 3 years old, and here in the edges, there's a little bit of wear, but that's nothing. The main flaps are totally fine, but they're easy to swap out. It's just 2 bolts for each flap. Just undo these nuts, drop the bolt out, pull the flap, put a new one in, back through, tighten it down, you're good. I mean, there's not a lot to it. Oh, you have your side ones, but it keeps the shape. So like that, it's an ease. If I have to change it, they're really easy to change. The only thing I really don't like about this guy is, so I'm going, I let this go, I let this go, I'm folding it down, I'm folding it up, I'm trying to get it to do it. It's not doing it on its own. Sometimes I'd let that go, and I'd go back and it'd be slack. This, and it always happens on this side over here. That pops out, especially when I'm folding down and folding out the handle. But this comes out, and it's more of an annoyance because you do this and obviously there's no tension because there's your tensioner, and you just pull that and put it back in and go. And that's really my only dislike about this guy. The tires, they're a hard rubber. So they're not, probably if they were a little bit wider, but it's not self-propelled, so I guess that would be why the tires are thin. However, when it's going, when you've got the flaps turning, or the auger, whatever you want to call it, when it's going, it'll drag itself along in the snow. But if you're having to push it, you know, that's probably why they're thinner. I will be upgrading to get a 2-stage next year, so I shouldn't really say upgrading because I'm not getting rid of this. But just in case, I mean, this year we broke a couple of records, 2 months. I mean, we still have snow on the ground right now. I'm going to try to dig my trailer out. I got to start working on the trailer. But it's got a lot of snow in it, around it right now from the, where I was clearing my own driveway. However, I am going to get a 2-stage next year, just in case we have another big winter like this, because there was a couple jobs that I wasn't able to take because they were beyond what I wanted to get in with this. It was a lot of ice and late calls after we had already hit that 2-foot mark of snow, and then some other properties were calling, and I wasn't putting this in it. I had it in snow that deep. At times, I was hitting snowbanks that were over this, you know, it was over the top, and it would do fine. I mean, it would bog down, not bad. I never killed it. It would just burr and then eat right through it, so it was doing pretty well. Another thing I don't like is if you get into wet slush as you're going, it's kind of hard. So a tip would be, as you're doing a driveway, if you're in wet slushy stuff, to start in the middle of the driveway. Depending on how you do it. Sometimes I'll do an edge and then I'll back and forth, and I do it different. It depends on how the driveway is. But anyway, when you're doing wet stuff, it just falls out of here. It'll come up out of the chute and just kind of gloop to the side with the single stage. It's not going to throw slush, powder and stuff like that. It'll freaking sling it. Be careful hitting gravel. This thing does have enough spin on it that it will throw rock. I've scared myself a couple times watching rock fly through the air that I didn't know it was going to hit, or chunks of ice. But the heavier stuff, the ice, it's not going to chip through ice. Obviously, the rubber flats. That's not what they're made for. That's where I'm going to need the 2-stage with the second stage auger in it. Anyway, I'm just going to upgrade next year just to have a little bit beefier of a machine that's self-propelled and can get me into some of the other stuff that I turned down this year. It probably won't snow here again for 2 more years. It seems to be kind of the cycle. Every 3rd year we have a really big winter. This winter was really late. Winter didn't even start until the 2nd week of February. And here we are in the 2nd week of March. It's going to be 50 degrees today, 60 degrees all next week. It looks like it's going to warm up quick enough to get me back on track for fertilizing. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And there it is, the Husqvarna ST 151. I give it a thumbs up. I like this guy.
Yeah, we are in the place to be. Yeah.